Give me back my Reaper's chest!
Okay.
Hey, you beautiful buccaneers, Falcore here. So with most of us getting our teeth stuck into seasons, and some of us already being renowned 100, I bet those of us hungry for lore and storyline have perhaps overlooked something very important in this whole seasonal progression. Now, it goes without saying that although the season's update added yet another layer of player retention to the game, it also brought next to no evolution in the storyline. That is kind of understandable, as the developers have been hard at work implementing this new progression tier to us all. And remember, this really is just the start of what's to come. Season 1 in most games always starts off pretty timid, more suited towards those of us who are new to the game or haven't got a lot of time to invest in it. But seasons to come, I have no doubt, will be far more meatier. Also keep in mind that Season 1 is basically the remnants of 2020, and with 2021 promised to be the biggest year yet, we haven't even scratched the surface yet. But as far as storyline goes, Flameheart summoned his ghost ships and his Ashen Lords, and then everything just stopped. Now, this is for a number of reasons, one of them being that the world is suffering a pandemic, and with most people working remotely from home, Rare and Microsoft included, it basically makes any development team, no matter how efficient they once were, into a stunted version. And this usually all boils down to the communication between different parties. Game design, especially today, isn't just about making something amazing, uploading it, and then letting everyone enjoy it. Today, the world is teeming with administrational Karens that'll either get offended by the shape of that banana, be angry at your choice of music because it sounds too much like the Bohemian Rhapsody, or just not like the color of that gun because it offends, I don't know, vegans. In any type of production, there is always red tape. You would be shocked how many times a game or an update has been delayed over something so incredibly stupid. For example, did you know a Sea of Thieves news video was delayed by 2 months due to a font? A font. The other reason the story arc has been delayed is down to foreshadowing. Now, we all know that Rare loves to keep us guessing, and with 2020, especially near the end, being one of the biggest years in terms of player base, we have seen a literal tidal wave of new players coming to the game, which also means a lot of people who are simply not caught up with the storyline. This means that any new storyline changes have to be slowly trickled in, whilst also keeping player retention. I mean, they could just add an epic tall tale right now that finishes the storyline for Flameheart, and yes, it would be amazing, but what then? Tall tales are great, they really are, but once they are done, they are done. Now let's talk about that foreshadowing. Now, we know thanks to the Seabound Soul Tall Tale that the Ashen Dragon, the real Ashen Dragon that is, not the ghostly one, escaped into an unknown location within the Shroud, somewhere within the Devil's Roar, to meet with Flameheart's fleet, where it still remains to this day, awaiting to be summoned. And we also know that the Masked Stranger has also disappeared and is nowhere to be seen. For those of us who do not know, the Masked Stranger was once Wanda, the blacksmith, who was cursed and became the Warsmith. She is responsible for all the skeletal vessels in the world and was thought to be defeated but re-emerged as the Masked Stranger, so it's possible that she could have joined the Ashen Dragon and its fleet, awaiting to be summoned. Now, here's the thing. Anyone noticed how in Season 1 some of the weapons you get from the Plunder Pass are named Warsmith? Funny that they chose this name for them, huh? Also notice how the whole aesthetic and tier names for this season are named the Shroud Breaker. And what does this Shroud Breaker do? Part the Shroud, of course. Now, this doesn't all necessarily mean that it is foreshadowing the return of the Ashen Dragon and the ending to the Flameheart storyline. It could also mean something else. Rare have been hinting at the Grand Maritime Union attempting to break through the Shroud with their fleets. In fact, most of the vessels you see in the maiden voyage passing are ships from the Grand Maritime Union. The Grand Maritime Union is the most powerful force outside of the Sea of Thieves, and most pirates fled here to get away from them, possibly even Flameheart himself. itself. In the Sea of Thieves, Flameheart is a massive threat against us tiny freelance vessels, but even Flameheart himself would be scared of the overwhelming firepower the Grand Maritime Union would bring. He wants the Sea of Thieves as much as we do. So maybe our pirate's fate is not to defeat Flameheart, but perhaps, well, you know the saying, the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
The golden age of piracy was just a short amount of time in real history, and it's this ultimate power play where a group of individuals, piracy takes hold, and then corporations strive to control it. Companies, the East India Trading Company, want to have control there, and we've seeded that the idea of merchants have come to the Sea of Thieves, but they haven't really got any power yet. They're just there giving you these very small objectives, but they're there primarily because they want a piece of that market. And play that out over a long enough period of time, that golden age comes to the Sea of Thieves, and you can imagine, well, who else is going to come through the shroud? Like, what other ships are going to come through the mist, and how is the Sea of Thieves world going to change?
That's it for today, folks. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked the video, then please hit that like button. And if you really like the video, please hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell so you're always notified when I upload. And if you're looking for ways to support me, please head over to my Patreon page where I offer tiers that give you perks for your support. Link is in the pinned comments below. Until next time, take care of yourself and happy sailing. Bye-bye.